CBSE Class 10 Math Sample Paper 2020 Standard Version. Fill in the blanks questions. Questions 11 to 15. 5 fill in the blanks questions. 1 mark questions. Easy questions. Let's get started. The first one is from the topic surface areas and volumes. The total surface area of the given solid figure is what we need to find out. Let's look at the solid figure. The lower part of it is obviously a cylinder. The top part is a cone. We need to find out the total surface area of the solid figure. Let's understand what these L, R and H in the solid figure actually mean. R is the radius of the solid figure. So R is the radius common to both the conical as well as the cylindrical part. L is the slant height of this cone and H is the height of the cylindrical part. We need to find out the total surface area. This is a solid figure is what is mentioned. So the total surface area is going to comprise the following components. It's going to have the CSA of the cone, right? So this part, the conical surface area, is included in it. Second, it's going to include the CSA of the cylindrical part, the curved surface area of the cylindrical part. It also includes the area of the base, which is nothing but the area of the circle at the bottom. So total surface area is the sum of all of these three: curved surface area of the cone, CSA of the cylinder, and area of the circular base. In terms of R, L, and H, let's write down all of these values. Curved surface area of the cone, we know the formula, which is equal to pi RL. Curved surface area of the cylinder, the formula is equal to 2 pi RH. And the area of the circle at the bottom, the formula is equal to pi R square. Add all of these, we'll get the total surface area, which is equal to pi RL, CSA of the cone, 2 pi RH, CSA of the cylinder, plus pi R square, area of the circle at the bottom. Let's summarize it in a printed form. CSA of cone, CSA of cylinder, area of the circle at the bottom, sum of all of these three will give us the total surface area. Take you about a minute to get this far. Let's move on to the second question, the 12th question. It's got two alternatives. The first one is from quadratic equation. And the second one is from polynomials. Let's start with the first one, the quadratic equations one. If one root of the equation k minus 1x square minus 10x plus 3 equals 0 is the reciprocal of the other, one root is the reciprocal of the other, then what's the value of k is what is asked. Let's assign a variable for these roots. Let's say one root is a. The other one is its reciprocal. So that's going to be equal to 1 upon a. For a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, the product of its roots we know is equal to c upon a. In this case, c is equal to 3, a is equal to k minus 1. So product of the roots of this quadratic equation is 3 by k minus 1. We have assigned the roots to be a and 1 by a. So the product of the roots therefore is nothing but a times 1 by a, which will cancel out to leave us with a value of 1. Product of the roots we got it as 3 by k minus 1. Product of the roots in the second version we got it as 1. Product of the roots should be equal, whichever way you write it. So let's equate 1 and 2. So what do we have? We have 3 upon k minus 1. This is equal to 1. Cross multiply and solve. K minus 1 equals 3. Take the minus 1 to the right hand side. We get k is equal to 4. When k is equal to 4, the roots of this quadratic equation will be reciprocal to each other. Summarize the calculation in a printed form. So we are equating 1 to 3 by k minus 1. Solving for k is equal to 4. Let's move on to the second alternative. This is about polynomials. The graph y is equal to p of x. So this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. Y is equal to p of x. Where p of x is a polynomial in variable x, obviously, is as follows. So this shape gives us the graph of the polynomial. The number of zeros of p of x is what we need to find out. Zeros of a polynomial are the possible values of x for which the polynomial p of x becomes 0. So x-axis carries the value of y is equal to 0. So that is the place where p of x is going to be equal to 0. So we need to find out at how many values will this p of x be equal to 0. What we need to do is find out where all does this curve cut the x-axis. The place where it cuts the x-axis, y will be 0. Therefore p of x will be 0. Let's count it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The polynomial that represents this curve will have 5 zeros. That's all it takes. Right? It should take you about 30 seconds to finish this question. Let's move on from here. Let's move on to the next question. 13th question. This is from triangles. Similar triangles. Area of similar triangles is the concept. The perimeters of two similar triangles ABC and PQR are 35 and 45. What is given is the perimeters. What we need to find out is the ratio of the areas of these two triangles. Right. Here's the concept. Ratio of the area of similar triangles is equal to the square of the ratio of its corresponding sides. So corresponding sides here will be AB and PQ, BC and QR, CA and RP. So ratio of the areas of these two triangles, ABC and PQR, could be any of these things. AB by PQ whole square, BC by QR whole square, CA by RP whole square. Now look at it. For example, let's say AB by PQ, the ratio is a 3:1. Let's just take it that way. So if PQ is equal to an X, this is going to be equal to a 3X. If QR is a Y, BC will be 3Y. If RP is a Z, then CA is going to be equal to 3Z. Right. So what will be the ratio? 3x by x is a 3 whole square 9. This will also be a 9. This will also be a 9. Let's check out whether it makes sense in this context. So let's add all of these things. AB plus BC plus CA is going to be 3x plus 3y plus 3z divided by PQ plus QR plus RP. That is going to be equal to x plus y plus z. We could have taken 3 common outside. X plus y plus z and x plus y plus z will get cancelled. So essentially this will also be equal to 9. So if AB by PQ whole square is equal to BC by QR whole square is equal to CA by RP whole square, that is going to be equal to AB plus BC plus CA upon PQ plus QR plus RP whole square. What is this? This is the perimeter of the first triangle. What is the second one? This is the perimeter of the second triangle. So ratio of the areas of ABC and PQR will be the same as the square of the ratio of their perimeter. What is the square of the ratio of the perimeter? We know their perimeters are 35 and 45. So it's going to be 35 square divided by 45 square. For calculation sake, I'm going to write this 35 as a 5 times 7 and 45 as a 5 times 9. So 5 and 5 will get cancelled, right? So this is equal to this. 5 gets cancelled with 5. 7 square by 9 square, which is equal to 49 upon 81. So ratio of their areas is equal to 49 is to 81. Quickly summarize this bit of calculation in a printed form. Perimeters are in the ratio of 35. Perimeters are 35 and 45. So ratio is going to be 35 upon 45 whole square, which is 7 upon 9 the whole square, 49 upon 81, or the ratio is 49 is to 81, right? So this part is very important. If you realize that this is the ratio of their sides is given, ratio of the sides and the ratio of the perimeters of two similar triangles will always be the same. So next time around, you can probably don't even have to write it. You can say just directly come to this, saying that areas of ABC by areas of PQR will be equal to square of the ratio of their sides, which will be equal to square of the ratio of their perimeters. Let's move on to the next question. This is from arithmetic progression. Fill the blanks in the sequence 2. There's a gap. Third term is given. We'll have to find out. Essentially, we'll have to find out the second and the fourth term so that the sequence forms an AP. They've said this is in an AP. What is given to us? We've been given A1 and A3. It's an AP, A1, A3 known. We need to find out A2 and A4. Let's take the textbook approach. Step 1, let's compute the common difference. We know A1, we know A3. We have to find out A2 and A4. Let's find the common difference. Let's take n to be equal to 3 because A3 is given to us. So A3 will be equal to A1 plus n minus 1, which is 3 minus 1 times common difference. Do you know values of A3, A1? Yes, we know A3 is equal to a 26, A1 is equal to a 2, plus 3 minus 1 is a 2, 2 times D. 2D is equal to 24 or D is equal to 12. So step 1, we have found out the common difference. Once you have the common difference, then finding out the remaining two values is very simple. A2 is equal to A1 plus D. What is A1? A1 is equal to 2. What is D? D is equal to 12. So A2 is equal to 14. So the first part is done. A4 is nothing but A3 plus D. What is A3? A3 is a 26 given in the question. 12 common difference we have computed it. So A4 is equal to 38. So this term is equal to 14 and this is equal to a 38. Quickly summarize it in a printed form. Finding out the value of D by substituting the values of A3 and A1 in this equation. So you get the value of D to be equal to 12. Plug in the value of D. Find out the value of A2, which is A1 plus D. Find out the value of A4. We have used the typical formula A1 plus n minus 1 into D. You could have very well gone about it as A3 plus D and found out the value to be equal to 38. So together it will take you about 2 minutes to complete this fill in the blanks. Let's move on from here. The last question, this is from probability. Again, an easy question. A number is chosen at random from these numbers. Let's count how many of them are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're given as 11 numbers. What is the probability that we'll have to compute? Then the probability that the square of this number, we're selecting a number, one out of these 11 numbers. The probability that the square of the selected number is less than or equal to 1. That is a probability we need to find out. Right? Probability of an event is the number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. We're picking one of these 11 numbers. So denominator is going to be 11. That's quick. Let's finish it. Let's compute the squares of these numbers, right? The squares of these 11 numbers are these. Our interest, the favorable case, is to find out such numbers whose square is going to be less than or equal to 1. Let's just circle the ones which satisfy the condition. These three numbers have their squares as less than or equal to 1. So number of favorable outcomes is equal to 3. Total number of outcomes is equal to 11. Required probability is equal to 3 upon 11. Right? All 5 questions were relatively easy. One of the questions had an alternative. Both alternatives were actually easy ones. Before you leave, do 2 things. Sign up at online.maxtute.com for CBSE online coaching for class 10 maths. It takes less than 5 minutes in all of 3 steps to get started. And do one more thing. Subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/maxtute, and spread the word about this channel to your friends and classmates.